They met by chance a year ago in a small cafe downtown. Emily worked there as a waitress, picking up shifts after her day job at an office. Jake came every evening for coffee and to read business magazines. His attention was immediately drawn to the slender brunette with lively brown eyes and a charming smile. "Miss, are you always so serious?" he asked one day as Emily brought him another Americano. "Only when I'm working," she smiled. "I'm actually pretty fun." That's how their romance began. Jake was a successful manager at a big company, while Emily was a talented designer dreaming of her own studio. The first few months were filled with dates, walks, and late-night talks. "You know," Emily told her friend Sarah, "he's so attentive. Always asks about my day, supports me." "Just make sure that doesn't change," Sarah replied thoughtfully. 6 months into the relationship, Jake suggested moving in together. "Why pay for 2 apartments? Let's rent a bigger one." Emily agreed, though her friends advised waiting. "Too soon. Get to know each other better." The first month of living together felt perfect. They cooked dinners, watched movies, and made plans. But gradually, Emily noticed odd changes in Jake's behavior. When she brought up marriage, he frowned. "Why rush? We're good as is." "But I want a family, kids." "All in due time," he snapped. Emily noticed Jake grew distant whenever the future came up. He could talk for hours about work, but the moment she mentioned marriage, he'd change the subject. "Maybe he had a bad experience," she mused aloud to her friends. "Or he just doesn't want to get married." Sarah shrugged. One evening, Emily found a text thread on his phone with someone named Megan. Nothing major, just work stuff. But something in the tone unsettled her. "Who's Megan?" she asked casually. Jake flared up. "You went through my phone?" "No, I saw a notification." "She's a new coworker." He cut her off. "And let's agree, my phone is my private space." Their first big fight happened when Emily stayed late with friends at a bar. Jake called every half hour, and when she got home, he interrogated her. "Where were you? Who with? Why so long?" "With friends, what's the big deal?" "I worry. Anything could happen." These moments piled up. Jake started questioning her every move, asking about coworkers, especially men. "Em, he's possessive," Sarah warned. "Be careful." "He just cares," Emily defended, but deep down, unease grew. She caught his heavy stare when she was on the phone or heading to meet friends. His refusal to discuss marriage while obsessively controlling her every step felt increasingly strange. "Maybe we should take a break?" she suggested one day. "Live apart for a bit." "Don't even think about it," he snapped. "You know how I feel about you." But Emily wasn't so sure anymore. A wall of misunderstanding was growing between them, and she didn't know how to fix it. Everything changed one evening when Jake unexpectedly took her to a fancy restaurant. She sensed something off. He was unusually nervous and distracted. After the main course, Jake dropped to one knee. "Emily, will you be my wife?" Stunned, she froze. The diamond ring in a velvet box sparkled, and the other diners clapped. "Yes," she whispered, tears of joy streaming down her face. The first days after the engagement felt like a fairy tale. Jake showered her with gifts, and they started planning the wedding. But slowly, his behavior shifted. "Where are you going?" he asked one morning, seeing Emily dress up. "To Sarah's. We're looking at wedding dresses." "Without me?" "Honey, it's a girl thing. You're my fiancé. I should know what you're picking." That was the first red flag. Jake began controlling every wedding-related detail. He insisted on choosing the venue, guest list, even the tablecloth colors. "Jake, but I want..." "Sweetheart, I know what's best for us." His control spread to every part of her life. One evening, he silently placed a new phone in front of her. "This one's better. It has location tracking." "Why? Don't you trust me?" I'm keeping you safe. Emily noticed Jake had installed remote access software on her computer for work, checked her browser history, and read her messages. You're so jumpy lately, Sarah remarked during a rare meetup.
Just wedding stress. He's controlling you. That's not normal. But Emily kept defending her fiancé. He's worried. He loves me. Things escalated when Jake started getting jealous of her coworkers. He'd pick her up from work, making scenes if he saw her talking to men. Why were you smiling at that manager? It was about work. Don't lie. I see how he looks at you. One day, he deleted all the male contacts from her phone. Why do you need other guys? You have me. Emily tried to talk. Jake, this isn't okay. You're suffocating me with your care. I'm protecting what's mine. I'm not a thing. You're my fiancé, soon my wife. I need to know where you are and who you're with. The final straw was his ban on a bachelorette party. No parties. I know how those end. But every bride? You're not every bride. You're mine. That night, Emily seriously questioned her choice. Looking at the ring on her finger, she felt not joy but a heavy weight, like shackles. Maybe he'll change after the wedding, she asked herself, but her inner voice screamed otherwise. Jake seemed oblivious to her distress, consumed by wedding plans, controlling every detail without asking her opinion. 2 months left, he said. Soon you'll be mine forever. His words sent a chill down her spine. Emily realized the man she was about to marry wasn't the one she'd fallen for. A month before the wedding, Jake's control became unbearable. He demanded an account of every minute she spent outside the house. One morning, getting ready for work, Emily found a small tracking device in her purse. What's this? She placed it in front of Jake. For your safety, he replied calmly, eyes on his laptop. You're spying on me? I'm protecting you. You never know what could happen. After that, Emily noticed Jake showing up wherever she went. He'd coincidentally be near her office, the store, even the salon. What a coincidence, he'd say with a fake smile. Thought I'd give you a ride. Work became a problem. Jake called hourly, demanding updates. If she didn't answer, he'd throw a fit. Why didn't you pick up? Who were you with? I was in a meeting. You're lying. I called the office. You weren't there. You're checking on me through the receptionist? Her colleagues noticed her change. Emily grew anxious, constantly checking her phone, jumping at every call. What's going on with you? Her boss asked. You used to be so vibrant. Everything's fine, Emily lied, as always. But nothing was fine. Jake demanded cameras in their apartment. So I can see what you're doing when I'm not home. Are you insane? I need to know you're not bringing anyone over. She lost her last friends after Jake caused a scene during a rare meetup. You're turning her against me, he yelled. No more hangouts. He's unhinged, Sarah said. Run! But Emily felt trapped. Jake controlled their finances, monitored her every move. She couldn't even call her parents without him knowing. One evening, he slammed printouts of her messages on the table. Who's Michael? A client. We were discussing a design project. At 10 at night? It's work. I forbid you from talking to him. You can't stop me from working. I can. After the wedding, you're done working. That conversation was a turning point. Emily realized she was losing herself in this relationship. She started secretly saving money, planning an escape. But Jake seemed to sense it. He grew more suspicious and aggressive. Where'd you go at lunch? The bank, for a statement. Why? That's my business. You don't have your own business. You're my fiancé. Every day became torture. Emily felt suffocated by the constant control. She lost weight, couldn't sleep, and was on the verge of a breakdown. The wedding loomed closer. Jake obsessively handled every detail, ignoring Emily's distress. He picked her dress, shoes, even her hairstyle.
"You'll be the most beautiful bride," he said. "My bride." His words gave her chills. She knew the point of no return was near. A week before the wedding, everything fell apart. Emily stayed late at work on a critical project. She called Jake to let him know, but he didn't believe her. Storming into her office, he found her at her computer with a male colleague, finishing a presentation.
"I knew it!" Jake roared. "This is what you're up to." "Stop!" Emily jumped up. "You're embarrassing me in front of my coworkers." "I'm embarrassing you? You're here fooling around with your lover." Her colleague tried to intervene. "Sir, you're mistaken." Jake grabbed Emily's arm. "We're leaving, now! Let go, you're hurting me. You're my fiancé. I said home." The fight at home was explosive. Jake raged through the apartment, smashing things. "You're cheating, betraying me. You're insane. It was work." "Work? At 10 at night? With a guy?" For the first time, Emily saw him unhinged, face twisted with fury, eyes wild. "I'm done," she said quietly. "There's no wedding." "What?" "I'm leaving you." Jake froze. "You're not going anywhere. You're mine." "We're not even married, and you're already treating me like property," Emily shouted. "What happens after the wedding? I'm not your possession." She rushed to the bedroom to pack. Jake followed. "You're not leaving. You hear me? I won't allow it." "Won't allow?" She threw the ring at him. "You don't get to allow or forbid me anything. You're my fiancé. Not anymore." Emily grabbed her bag and ran for the door. Jake tried to block her. "Stop, let's talk." "No more talking. I'm done being your thing." "Emily, please." "No." She pushed past him. "I'm suffocating with you. Your love, your jealousy, your control, it's killing me. I want to be free." She bolted to the stairwell. Jake shouted after her. "You'll regret this. You're nothing without me. I'd rather be nothing than your property," she yelled, racing down the stairs. Outside, Emily didn't stop until she was blocks away. Only then did she catch her breath and pull out her phone. "Sarah, can I come to your place?" In the taxi, she saw the mark where the engagement ring had been and felt free for the first time in months. Her phone buzzed with Jake's calls, but she ignored them. It was over. The nightmare was done. Ahead lay a new life, free from control, surveillance, and fear, a life where she could be herself again. Jake was left alone in the empty apartment, surrounded by scattered belongings and shattered dreams, never grasping that love can't be built on control and force.